national headquarters in Indianapolis, and we'll also be hosting a news conference later today. And on behalf of the 2.4 million members of the American Legion. It is very difficult for us to understand why veterans are first on the list of spending sacrifices when Congress fails to compromise and achieve a solution to one of its most fundamental tasks, managing our budget. We have been assured and reassured by the President and members of Congress on numerous occasions that the budget won't be balanced on the backs of veterans, and yet here we are today. It seems impossible to believe now that millions of men and women who are transitioning or already have transitioned from military service will be forced to depend upon charity for their very existence before the country they had fought to defend gets around to caring for them due to a government shutdown and political bickering. Most of our veterans will be seeking employment and training in the open employment market. Others will be eager to return to college or take up vocational training instead of a job. However, with this current situation, there would be no effort by any agency to assist those transitioning service members or veterans with employment or training on any level if the shutdown continues and further. These men and women already have been exposed to hardships and suffering during their military service, making it difficult to transition to civilian life. Asking them to attempt to move into civilian employment with an employment rate exceeding 20% in some areas is even more difficult, but asking them to do so during the government shutdown of the Department of Labor's employment and training programs, such as Jobs for Veterans state grants, the Transition Assistance Program, Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program, and the Federal Administration USERRA enforcement is simply outrageous and a disgrace to all those who have served. In a true sense, we are not giving anything to veterans. We are making a token payment on the debt we owe them, and it takes the form of opportunity. Just trying to give them the opportunity to get back to the place where they can enjoy the same freedom of opportunity which they have preserved for us through their service and sacrifice. On behalf of the American Legion and National Commander Dillinger, I express our thanks and appreciation to our fellow colleagues and advocates standing here with us today. We hope that the President and members of Congress can work together in a bipartisan manner to end this government shutdown. With that, I care to introduce you Gary Augustine from DAV.
Thank you. My name is Gary Augustine. I'm here on behalf of the 1.2 million members of the Disabled American Veterans, known as the DAV. We thank you for being here to hear our concerns about the government shutdown and its impact on America's wounded heroes. And as you know, unless the stalemate is resolved by the end of October, more than 4 million veterans may not receive their disability compensation, pension, or GI Bill payments in November. And for many, those payments may be the primary or only source of income. The shutdown is already directly affecting vets, as prior to the shutdown, the VA was adjudicating more than 100,000 claims per month and had reduced the backlog by 1/3. Obviously, as VA employees continue to be furloughed, the ability to adjudicate claims diminishes and the backlog starts to increase. As monthly compensation and pension payments are missed, many wounded and ill veterans won't be able to pay their mortgage, their rent, utility bills, car payments, or even provide food for their families. More than 350,000 survivors